Hi, everybody. A little bit different tonight. I am podcasting by myself, so you'll have to bear with me. Okay, but do let me know that you're here. And hang on, and pardon me for getting up like this. There we are. Haunting Live says Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you, Haunting Live, and everybody else. I did want to mention that at the end of the show tonight, I will be reading my story, A $20 Christmas. But now that we're starting, we're going to start out with today's questions. And these are sent in by subscribers who have sent their questions in advance to info@sallydiane.com. It's just that simple. Send your question ahead of time, and your question will be read first during this first segment of the show, like Patty did. And Patty says, "Greetings, Sally. This week we had an unexpected loss of a remote manager. Can the spirit share anything on Eric's journey?" Okay, so let's see what the spirits have to say about Eric's journey. And because of my injury, I am using the runes and the runes only. So that sounds about right. Now, as far as his journey, boy, he left some unfinished business behind, and so I think that you might find he's earthbound for a little bit. It feels like he has some unfinished family matters to attend to. Let's see what it says. Yeah, he does have a lot of family matters to attend to, and he's got to set a few things right. So he is going to be around his family, and I think he's talking about his wife and kids. And I'm seeing right though with his cart, and that makes me wonder if maybe he didn't die in a car accident or something, because it shows car and wheel and vehicles around him. But right now, his journey is to kind of reconnect with with his nearest and dearest to set things straight. Okay. And Merry Christmas to you. Our next letter is from Cindy. Okay. And, I'll try and remember to show you the runes. I only have the one camera and I'm doing this on my own. Anyhow, Cindy says, "Hello, Sally and Oliver. Merry Christmas to you and your family." Well, Merry Christmas to you too, Cindy. "Any messages from Spirit for me? Thanks, Cindy." Okay, well, let's see. And again, I'm using the runes. And okay, two things they have from your spirit is Gabu, and Gabu is gift. It's serendipity. So it does tell me that some unexpected good things are going to happen to you. They do say you have Algis here, and Algis, if you were a hippie, you'd know that it used to be a peace sign, right? But it kind of has the same sort of meaning. It talks about the branches of the tree of life watching over us and watching over you. So you're coming into a very blessed phase of your life, and it's topped with Kenaz or Ken, and Ken, of course, Kin, family. So you do have closer relationships with family. You may even have new family additions. You have Torch, and Torch is it's fire, but in the idea of being of motivation, of good things happening. And I think what the runes are telling you is that some of the young folks uh, in your family are going to are going to do very, very well this year. So this is going to be a good year for you to focus in on family in a good way. Okay. And Mary Ann says, "Hello, everybody, Merry Christmas. Hello, Maryam. And Sin says, hi, long time no see. Well, it's good to see you and welcome back. James Saltarella says, Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas to you too, James. Merry Christmas, Sin. And Marianne says, can I get a spirit message, please? Okay. All right. Let's see what spirit has to say to Marianne. And the first thing that spirit says, it throws out here, is Ansus. And Ansus is it's ancestral God. It tells me that your ancestors, the spirits of your ancestors are looking over you. So you might feel some of them very close to you because you are being watched. So you do have your ancestors around you. Spirit is also saying that this is a time when they're sending you love. I see that in Lagos, which is lake. And last but not least, you have Tiwaz. And Tiwaz is about justice and truth. So it looks like 2004 is going to be a pretty good year for you, Miriam. There is going to be that connection. Your spirit guide's looking over you, but it also feels like love goes well for you, and this is a year where honesty pays off. Sometimes in the past you felt like you were too honest for your own good because you're telling the truth, everybody else is lying, and you're having a hard time with it. But Marianne, this is a good year for you. Keep being a truth teller. Okay, Sim wants to know if I can ask what are Austin's current feelings and intentions toward me. Okay, Sin. Either we've got a lot of Austins out there, or we're asking, or you're asking the same question every week. But it's just me, and let's see what Austin's current feelings and intentions towards you. Sin and Austin. Okay, so okay, he's torn. I can see that. You have Righto here, which is cart, which talks about moving forward and getting things going. But then you have Hagalas, and Hagalas is kind of like the sins of the past catching up with you. And then you have Algas, and Algas is, like I said before, it's blessings from heaven. It's being watched over. So it does look like, as far as his intentions and his attitudes, current feelings and intentions towards you, uh it's still changeable. It makes me wonder what happened between the two of you that was off-putting, just because he says, well, I'll give her a call now, or I'll approach her, and he goes, no, this might happen again. So you kind of need, I don't have that information, but you do, because the runes are telling you about it, that there was something that you did that was a little off-putting, but you still have a chance. So let's see what others. Yeah, he's on one hand, he really thinks that there's a future with you, and on the other hand, he thinks that you could be um, a real difficult relationship, and I don't know where that comes from. But he's somewhere along the line. He's seen or heard of your badder side, so he's torn. He's really torn. So put your best foot forward at all times, and yeah, just keep putting your best foot forward, and hopefully his evolving feelings will evolve in your favor, because right now it hangs in the balance. Oh, hi, Marcy. It's so nice to see Marcy here. Okay, and Divine Oracle says, Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks. Thanks for being on our show last night. Oh, that was so much fun. I was on the Divine Oracle podcast, and that's spelled with an A, by the way. Uh, and it was with Brother Chris and Eva, Gypsy Lady Eva. And we had such a good time. We talked about a number of things. Eva and I kind of took the conversation over and talked about our early days, because we were both psychics in our early stages at a time when we were first started hanging out together. And so we talked about that, and we talked about the channeling we did and stuff like that. And then we went back. Then we got back to the original topic, which was supposed to be talk about Christmas. And so then we talked about Christmas, both some of the legends of Christmas and some of our favorite Christmases. So you should tune in and go to the Divine Oracles uh, podcast, a YouTube channel, and go to the live section and hit on last night's show. Okay, so and Haunting Live wants to know, and will Christmas this year bring more joy for all and us? Okay, so I see what you're saying. So in in uh, in his first question, he wants to know if Christmas will bring more joy for all, and that's it's never for all. I think that 2024 is going to be a very it's going to be a very difficult year. It's going to be a very noisy year. There's going to be a lot of posturing. There's going to be a lot of saber rattling. It's just, it's going to be one of those years, and it might even get a little scary because that word's kind of coming across my mind. So, it's. I'm glad we live in Canada. I really am, because there's stuff happening in the world right now that yeah, it just isn't good. Okay, and then in 2024, will we have a better year? Having a worse year. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You've got this. It starts out with a little bit of good news. And all things considered, and considering the things that are going on in your life right now with the family, the job issues, and this and that and the other, it's nice to know that the universe is going to throw you a bone, and you're going to get a little bit of a surprise coming your way. Also, another thing that they say about 2024 is they use the Ruggiero. Oh, this is Gabu. This is your gift rune, your surprise, and the year ends up with Jera. So 2024 is the year where you really need to put your nose to the grindstone, because it says that you can complete a lot of the projects and fulfill a lot of the goals that you have set in 2024. Then if we look at the middle section, which I see kind of as your resources in 2024, we have Burka, and that's heavy duty goddess energies. So it's good emotions, it's fertility, it's productiveness. So that goes right along with Jera. And your describers would be, first off, they're both a little bit ill aspected, but they're weak runes. They're in a weak position. And one would be Rytho, which is cart. And so transportation might be a problem for you this year. And it could be a real thorn in your side. So always have a plan B. And I'm just getting this idea of a lengthy road trip being turned sideways. And the suggestion that you might want to know what the train schedules are. So be prepared to take the train if the car doesn't work. And also, you have Oscilla reverse. And Oscilla it's homeland, but it talks about where your roots are. And I think that this year, I think might be a rough year for your parents health wise. I know that they're coming into this year, both of them, on kind of a downslide, and I'm seeing that continuing. But that's a negative, and I want to end up on a positive note, and that's getting right back to the two strong runes here, Gebu and Jera. So even though you're going to have your challenges, and most of them are dealing with other people's stuff, you and yours are going to have some good news, some pleasantries coming your way, and you are going to reach, you are going to reap what you've tried to sow for so long. I really get this feeling. I'm seeing maybe a television camera or something, so I think you might have a new show coming out, like a network show. So one of the feelers you put out there will come through in 2024. All right. Oh, hi, Morrissey. Down in the land of the mice and golf and sunshine and stuff. And Merry Christmas. Oh, said it. Oh, that's funny. Hi, Janice. Okay, Janice wants to know, does Claudio really want to go out tonight with me? Thanks a lot. All right, so Claudio and Janice. So if we look at the middle of it, you have this formation where you have Gebu, gift, serendipity on one side, and you have Urus, which is wild ox on the other, and this is strength and stubbornness and tenacity. So you have both of these. Okay, so it's saying, stick with it. Stick with it. There's something there. I think there might be something there. In the middle, and this is sort of a hidden aspect, is Kenaz, which is torch, which is talks about initiative, enlightenment. The word enlightenment comes through. So it looks like somewhere here, this relationship holds a special gift. And I'm not sure whether, because of the enlightenment thing, I'm not sure whether this is the gift of a relationship or the gift of insight, but you're going to get one or the other. Let's see what some of the other runes are. And these are all, they've all shown face down, so that makes them weak. Okay, so as you're coming into this current date, so this is something new. All right. And does Claudio really want to go out with me? And you have you have Feihu, but Feihu is reversed and Feihu is weak. Okay. So does he want to go out with me? Yes. Does he wonder that the relationship might not be fruitful? Yes, he's attracted to you, but you're different than some of the other women that he's gone with in the past. So it's kind of like, because you're different somehow, whether it's a different mindset, a different body type, different hair color, different something. There's something different and unique about you. And you know how people tend to date the same kind of person over and over again. There's something unique about you, and he's just he's still up and down about it. But overall, it does show that it does look like there's strength and potential here. Oh yeah, and then it goes to Algiz, which is the world tree, which is the branches of heaven and blessings coming down upon you. So it does look like that. I still see it, great potential. Yeah, there's good potential here. The guy's got a connection somewhere. It just says be willing to, it's telling you the things about, like with tenacity and strength. It's just know that you build relationships one brick at a time. That's how you build the foundation of a relationship. And I see you guys being of the mindset, and you work together very well, that you would do well in a relationship. So there's that potential. You can screw it up at any given time, but if you like him, it seems like there's potential with him. All right. So Merry Christmas, Janice. And thank you, Marcy. Okay, and Marcy says, Hey Sally, what do my spirit guides want me to know for the new year? And for the new year, and by the way, I know that we're going to be doing pick three pretty soon. And I just wanted to comment that we will be reading a $20 Christmas at the end of the show, which is a Christmas story that I wrote that's been published. And I'll be sharing it with you later on today. So I hope you'll stick around for that. And let's see what Marcy's spirit guides want her to know for the new year. And one big thing they want you to know, and this is the strongest message, is this Ansus, ancestral God. And I know that your dad is with you, but I also know that you have some other uh, ancestors that kind of whisper in your ear from time to time. Because I'm getting the feeling of a woman, somebody middle aged, but she's not your mother. Okay, so no, so you do have spirit ancestral spirits around you a lot. Okay. And so they're saying overall, your family, your hearth, your home, where your heart is secure. But they are saying that you need to be careful with your money because there's something coming up from the past. You might have a problem that you had in the past rear its ugly head again. And I hate to say it, and I don't understand it, but I keep getting the feeling that this is a health thing. Okay, so yeah, that's one thing the spirit's warning you about. So just make sure that you're prepared for anything that comes. So be flexible in 2024. A bit toxic. Janice, that's funny. All right. Well, you have a wonderful Christmas too. All right. So, um, yes, and I'm right at the end, and I know that being Christmas, we're not going to get a lot of people, but for now, I want to do the the pick a card for the week ahead. So this is a pick a card for the week for Christmas week. Oh, yes. Yeah, that would do it. That would be a Nothis and Hagalas thing together. Oh boy. Yeah. Boy, that does catch up with you. And the IRS always gets their pound of flesh. All right. So, anyhow, this is a time when I pull out the cards and I spread them out in front of me. All right. And I want you to pick a card. Pick card number 1 through 3. So you pick card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3. So what number resonates with you for the week of Christmas 2023? Did you pick card number 1? Well, if you pick card number 1, then your tarot card for the last week of 2023 is the 7 of Wands reversed. Okay, so it does show me that this week you might not come out on top, and this is kind of like playing king of the mountain. Getting on top of everything and holding your position. And I see it more as being one of these people down here that are trying to compete for that top position. So it doesn't feel like it's a week to move ahead very much. It just doesn't seem like the cards are in place for you to do that. So you should relax, enjoy your family. Did you pick card number 2? Well, if you pick card number 2, then you got the Hierophant reversed. And with the Hierophant reversed, the Hierophant, if he's right side up, it's about marriage and following the Ten Commandments and society and doing what's expected of you. But when it's upside down, it's about bucking the system. It's about doing things your own way. Like Thoreau said, marching to the beat of a different drummer. This is your week to do things your way. So to heck with the tried and true rules. Do things your way this week. Okay, so did you pick card number 3? Well, if you pick card number 3 for the week of Christmas, ending, by the way, New Year's Eve, New Year's and New Year's Eve, you've got Judgment reversed. And as soon as I looked at that, the cards reminded me that we have New Year's coming up. So it looks like this week, to be real honest, it looks like most of you who picked card number 3 are making plans to have poor judgment on New Year's Eve. Make sure you hydrate ahead of time and before you go to bed. And I used to take an aspirin before I went to bed to try and kind of prevent the headache. But anyhow, that was your reading for the week of December 25th. Merry Christmas to everybody. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye. Okay, folks. So thank you for waiting through that. And let's see, after our last question, which in this case, I know that it's Christmas, so everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and that's okay. That's okay. If you've got any questions, we're going to be wanting to show up early. So I want you to make sure you answer your questions right away. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and read my story. So get your favorite beverage and sit down and take a listen. It was 2 short days before Christmas and 9 days before the end of a very difficult year. I'd lost a good job, got divorced, gone on welfare, worked part-time as a waitress, changed babysitters 3 times, attended the business management program at a local university, battled wasps and mice, and learned to dislodge toys stuck in the toilet trap. The old house trailer where Philip, my 2-year-old son, and I lived sat at the edge of a lonely field just west of Adrian, Michigan. My parents lived in nearby Blissfield, Michigan, and they had helped us as much as they possibly could. The bills were paid, but we had no Christmas tree, no presents for the baby, little to eat, and $20 for groceries. From the jealousy windows of our trailer, the world looked bleak and dead. Several abandoned wasp nests hung from the chrome trim of the trailer, and beyond that, the fruit tree stood bare. It was still, cold, and gray. A warm tear spilled down my cheek. At that moment, Philip began to tug at me, babbling in a language all his own. It was impossible not to smile. I picked him up for a sweet, albeit sloppy kiss, and then the phone rang. It was a concerned friend who insisted that I should go to the Salvation Army and for one of their Christmas food baskets. Finally, reluctantly, I agreed. At the distribution point behind the Salvation Army building, a steady stream of ragged people filed in and out. Philip was half asleep, furiously sucking his thumb while he twiddled a strand of hair around his fingers. What does baby know about Christmas? I thought. I hugged my son close and headed into the building. The basket distribution area was crowded with boxes and milling people. The smell of dust, cardboard, and apples filled the air. We were each given an empty cardboard box and directed to a long table in front of a stockpile of donated foods. Volunteers filled the boxes. a bag each of potatoes and apples, canned vegetables, assorted staples, and a whole chicken. Enough food to last until payday. In another room of donated toys, we could help ourselves to whatever we wanted. I selected three storybooks for Philip and was headed for the door when I caught sight of a wind up robot toy. It had a clear but slightly worn body, colorful inner gears, a red head, and a large wind up key. Twist of the key confirmed it worked well. A treasure. My $20 bought an artificial tree, a string of lights, a few handfuls of 3 for $1 ornaments, a coloring book, crayons, and some wrapping paper. This was 1979, folks. Philip was sound asleep when we got home. I put him in his crib and proceeded to unload groceries, start dinner, and set up the tree. As evening set in, the tree provided light. The plastic ornaments sparkled like stained glass, illuminated by 20 tiny multicolored bulbs, each nestled in a plastic flower of the same color. The aroma of roasting chicken overpowered the ever present smell of fuel oil from the furnace. I thought about turning on the radio for some Christmas music, but the silence was too divine to disturb. It was framed at a perfect moment in time. Joy, gratitude, hope, and prayers wrapped in the kindness of others and lit with the opulence of a Christmas tree. Eventually, the silence gave way to the soft sobs from Philip. He was awake and hungry. His eyes, still puffy from sleep, opened wide at the sight of the tree. Normally a chatterbox, Philip was quiet as we started shared dinner, his eyes never leaving the tree and its lights. Christmas morning brought a dusting of snow on the ground. One by one, I handed Philip his presents. He tore the wrappings off, played briefly with each gift, and then ran back for the next. The robot came last. I wound it up and let it go. He crawled after the toy, intently watching the gears tumbling, the head bobbing, the mouth opening and closing. The balance of that day I spent winding the robot up and watching Philip chase after it. That toy, a gift from a stranger, held his interest for years afterwards. Today, Philip has served in the United States Marine Corps, and he is currently an aerospace engineer for the United States Army. He is a fine man of whom I am very proud. I immigrated to Canada and now work as a psychic in Stratford. The little toy was eventually donated back to the Salvation Army, still in good condition. I think of that toy every Christmas and of the little tree, the $20, and the good people who make Christmas miracles happen. Okay, so thank you. Merry Christmas. Okay, so I do see that is the end of our questions. So I wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. And I'll see you next year for our New Year's Eve program. Um, I hope Santa Claus is good to each and every one of you. Just have fun and be good to each other, okay? If you want a reading with me, you can get a reading at Spa Near the Tracks. My 2024, my schedule for the entire year has been set. I work every second and fourth Friday and Saturday and the Wednesday in between. Anybody who'd like to schedule an appointment with me in person at Spa Near the Tracks can do so by calling 519-272-1293. That's 519-272-1293 for the Spa Near the Tracks, or just send me an email to info@sallydiane.com, and I will happily set up an appointment to do a reading online. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember to tell your friends, like and share this video, and above everything else, Merry Christmas.